It just really stood out. It was like
something like, you know, deep down that I've always
honestly,
been. That
I've never really been in a
I sort of
serious
decided
I
I
always knew
wanted
she was
to
there.
And that was what
love
I
her.
may not have seen
After
her.
it's over, it's never
she
there.
was.
I felt comfortable
I don't
to
see
feel that
myself
way with
getting
somebody.
married.
You know, there are some
or
things in
having
life
kids.
that you just know.
It was interesting, like, because this last trip that when my girlfriend came to stay with me, we had a great time together. But it was the moment that I'm remembering is when the night that she was leaving to go back to where she lives. It was just like really hard to like say goodbye. It's like a feeling really sad about that, and I actually was crying in that night, and she was holding me, and as I was crying, it just I think that was like maybe that I remembered since I was maybe younger that I cried with somebody, that I felt comfortable to feel that way with somebody, and I think that was a really special experience for me. I didn't know that I was in love, I guess, until I was out of love, I guess you could say. And then I was realizing that the time that I was in love with this person, I didn't even see that person. I saw them through this, I was seeing them in this other way, where I was just totally into the experience with them. And then when I was out, and I could see that when I was out of love, I just it was empty, and it was cold, and it was lifeless. So I don't know. I see it from that perspective, from that angle. And I'm still learning. I think I'm just in the beginning of learning about that. That's what it feels like to me. In this relationship that I've been in, or I in the beginning, it's sort of like I didn't know if she was the right person for me or not, and I didn't really feel like I was in love with her at some parts of it, but I sort of decided I wanted to love her. I wanted to love her. I wanted to choose to do that, and so I just decided I'm gonna love her. I'm gonna just do that because she's the one I'm with right now, and I just wanna. I know I wanna just invest in her.
It was everything. It was an aura, kind of. I can't really put my finger to it. She just really stood out. I mean, I'd gone out with girls before, but it was like a switch flipped, and I just knew that she was the one. But it was actually, even when I just first saw her, there was just the way she carried herself, the way she laughed, the way she got excited about little things that, most people would not get excited about, or there was a zest, It sounds kind of funny, but I think I've been in love with her even before I met her. It was that sort of thing. It was, oh, there she is. It was like you come home and you got a warm blanket, and you just know that it's there. It's not like you were looking for it. It's not like it found you. It was just, oh. There are some things in life that you just know. There are some things, your mom's love. No matter what happens, your mom loves you. The sun's always going to shine, no matter what happens. So it could be a rainy day, it could be a sunny day, it could be snowing. The sun's always going to shine. And that's how it was with me and my wife. I always knew she was there. I may not have seen her, but she was there. And I knew eventually I would have to come out and she would rise.
At the pace I'm going and what's happened so far, anything can change at any time. I know that. But I don't see myself getting married or having kids, honestly. And I have, my quirks about me, and I mean, that could change. I don't think it would take very much. Like, enjoys being with me as much as I enjoy being with them. In no uncertain terms. I haven't found what it means yet. I understand the love, like, family-wise, parents and stuff like that. That's kind of a given, I guess. But in relationships, I haven't come up with a complete definition. I don't really understand it. I think I might have been, and then just, like, swiftly gotten over it. Like, no, it never ends well. Well, I've never really been in a serious relationship, ever. It's always been, like, I like a guy, and we hang out a couple times, get to know each other, and then there's always a beginning and an end. After it's over, it's never good. Like, they don't want to see me, or they run in the other direction. It's really bizarre. None of the guys that, like, I've, like, gotten interested in, there's been more communication. Like, it's never been serious, or relationship that ended badly, I've learned from. I guess that's the only positive thing that's come from it. But, I just had to learn that nothing is, like, set, nothing is guaranteed, nothing is assumed. And people, they often react on, like, selfish impulses, like, what's gonna please me, like, now, what can I get for me, not thinking of the other person. It's kind of been a pattern of mine to, like, pick selfish people. I don't know, I'm kind of selfish myself, but that's what I learned, that, like, you don't have to have labels for things and relationships or anything. It's what you make of it. That's what I learned from that. Keep messing up, making mistakes, learning. I mean, that's all I can do. I hope it's out there. If it is, great. If it happens to me, great. If it doesn't, keep breathing, right?
Well, it was a high school friend's cousin, and she thought it would be a good idea to, hook us up. This girl, we talked for a little bit, got to know each other, and I got to know who she really was, and who she really was something that I've never seen before in my life. Something like, deep down that I've always been, that I've never seen in anybody else. And that was what hooked it. Yeah, and that's what got me stuck. It was I'm a very spiritual person, you could say. And a lot of people, they don't understand where I'm coming from or who I am truly. And she understood. She was it. Like, she was what I was. Maybe it was me. Maybe I held back too much, just out of fear. I didn't give her enough of myself or open up to her. Could have been any of those things, or all of them, all of the above. It's not something that's hard for me to do. It's really not. When you are in love with somebody and that same feeling isn't returned, I mean, that's it. That's all it takes. And it's the worst. Probably what I regret is knowing that I felt that way and holding back in a sense. Because when I felt those feelings, when I knew, that's when I closed up a bit. She knew how I felt, but aside from that, I couldn't give her any more. I was too scared, and really that's what hurt it, I think, most of all. I do think love is a risk. Definitely You know, even if you meet the right person and you click and there's chemistry, there's always going to be a certain point you come to where you say, okay, am I going to continue on with this, or take that risk of going on? You know, and that's what it comes down to, choice, I believe. And that choice is a risk, putting yourself out there like that. So, yeah, I definitely think love is a risk. It's worth taking. It is. I mean, why else are we here? We want to be loved, right?
And the interesting part about it is she didn't actually leave that night. We got to the airport and I booked the wrong day. So we ended up going back home, and the next day, she had to go back because she had to work the next day. And the next day, she was the one that was crying, and I was holding her. It was really nice, again, to have that experience with her.